All right, so we have man like Valentino in the building. How you feeling, big dog?
Yo, up life, you know what I mean? Up, stay connected, you know what I mean? I'm feeling real groovy, feeling really nice, you know? It's a we're into the new year right now, so what else could I say, you know? I kind of like the progress and process that's going on with myself.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Appreciate you sliding through. You know, I'm a big fan of the music. You know what I mean? Every time you drop, it's jewels, it's vibes, it's good energy. So I do appreciate you sliding through. You know what I mean?
Love, love.
All right, so I just want to quickly start from the top and kind of give the people kind of a background and kind of give them, you know, more of your story, because the music is amazing, but a lot of people have to tap in and know who you are as a person. So let's start off from your ends. Like, where in the city are you specifically from?
So talking specifically, I'll say that it's a total called Martin Grove in the Westway, right? So I say like people claim it as Rexdale too, but you know, you go up the street a little bit more than you're really in the Rex and shit like that. So kind of have like a connection from one strip going up all the way to the Rex. So it's kind of like a Martin Grove strip and then Rexdale after, you know?
Facts. So yo, when people tell me about like the ends they're coming from, like I like to kind of see what kind of ends it is, see how growing up in that ends is, and like, you know, the ins and outs of that end. So kind of describe that for the people who've never been there or the people who don't know what that is.
I guess experience, you know? Like just everybody has their own differences and thoughts and perceptions and everything, whatever you could say about any different ends or area, but a lot of people look at it as ghetto bad with black and Spanish, and even you have the token white youths and shit that are over there that are bad and shit, you know? So it's just like, it is what you take from it, yo. My mom used to look at me and tell me, yo, like, you're chilling with some bad friends and shit like that, but she don't know that they're good or anything like that, and I can't tell her that, you know? So it's really like, I can't really say on that, you know? It's just, it is what anybody else would think of it, like how I look at it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I just look at it like that, like, it is what it is. That's my thought. Because I probably have a million other thoughts on that, you know?
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. So like, you know, growing up in those ends, like, were you the only child? Do you have siblings?
I have a younger brother, so it was me, my mom, and my younger bro at the time, right? We didn't have my pops growing up. My brother didn't have his pops and shit like that. So yeah, kind of like a only child type of thing.
Yeah.
Because I obviously got the benefits like an only child would get and shit like that. But Mom Dukes is still broke and poor and only wanted to provide because she obviously loved her sons and shit like that, you know what I mean?
Facts.
So yeah, you know, kind of like an only child thing, but not really, because I still have my bro there too.
All right. So, you know, growing up in that kind of household, in that kind of environment, you know, you see niggas pop by with fancy cars, you see niggas with the Jordans, you see niggas with the jewelry looking flashy, with the bad things and shit like that. So, you know, you growing up as a impressionable young man, like, how was that affecting you? Were you looking at that like, damn, like, niggas is broke, niggas need to get to this bag, niggas need to, like, come up in life? Like, how did that shape you and how did that affect you?
Yo, for real? That's a sick question. I guess even the school that I was at, like, growing up from junior kindergarten, senior kindergarten, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, or whatever, it's like I was around friends and people who were drippy, and probably their parents or sisters and brothers, like, had a bag, and they were probably doing shit in the streets or have a sick job and shit like that, where they have money and they're providing for their younger ones and shit like that too. So I could say even like a lot of kids in Toronto, like, okay, let's say like for us, you know, like, we seen a lot of shit when we were younger. A lot of us had good childhoods and lives and shit like that until kind of like high school came around and we want to be bad and whatnot, right? So it's like, even as kids growing up, like, I seen my niggas and their parents and shit, like, their parents giving them the Jordans, the Air Forces, Bape, this and that, like, Louis V, this and that, designer that was popping back then, you know, and this shit's not new, you know, so I seen it from young. My mom used to pop off designer and shit like that, and I never knew about it at the time. So it's like, holy, like, I've been around it my whole life, like, regardless, you know? Go to the hood or whatever. Not even go to the hood, like, living in the hood, you know what I mean? Go outside of your building, you see the mandem, so it's like, you never know if, like, you're tight with them or you just walk into a friend and shit, and they already get into the bag and they already have things popping for them. So it's like, you're chilling with these guys, they're obviously going to introduce you to the lifestyle too, you know?
Facts.
Yeah, shit like that stuff.
Facts, facts. So, like, you know, you said, like, being introduced to the lifestyle and shit like that. Was there any time where you realized, yo, the lifestyle was fake, or, like, the streets was a myth? Or did you ever get caught up with the boy then where you had to sit down for a bit and be like, fuck, like, you know what I mean? This is fucked up. I'm in a tight situation right now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. Like, enough times. Probably you yourself, like, enough times you get into situations where it's like, shit, like, it's real now, right?
Yeah.
But for me, like, for what I could say for myself, not speaking for no other man, it's like, I know where I'm from, and I love it. I embrace it so much, and it's just like, even if I felt like I wanted to leave and shit, which I actually did, and I still came back. Even if I had niggas that hated me, loved me, friggin', man, I wanna run up on me if they see me on the ends, or if they wanna try a thing, it's niggas that I see with her and I wanna try a thing on them. It's like I'm still going back to the same area where
Facts.
people could come find me, see me, talk to me, you know, smoke a blunt with me, drink a beer, this and that. Something's always gonna pop off.
Facts.
Especially if and for the artists too, it's like you go back to your old hood, popping off on YouTube and all of this shit, on live and all of this shit, and then you go back over there, the niggas know you got money. You don't check for certain man, you don't do this and that, you're getting checked.
Facts.
And it might not be like a brethren, it might be a nigga that you fell off with. Fucking somebody sees you and starts preeing you or whatever. So it's, yeah.
All right, that's an interesting topic that, you know, we're kind of on right now. So, you know how we seen Young Dolph's situation when he went back to his hood and he got, you know, he got killed basically, you know what I mean? Nipsey also, he was at his storefront when he got shot up and shit like that and died, unfortunately. So where at what point does it get to where you're like, all right, yeah, I want to go back to the hood and show these niggas some love and, you know what I mean, politic with my people? Or like, all right, I'm in this industry, I'm making all this money, and going back to the hood can be detrimental to what I got going on. Like, where do you find that balance?
Shoot, yo. That's like, I couldn't even tell you still, just to be real, dog. It's like,
Yeah.
maybe I'm still learning that myself, right?
Yeah.
Because right now, if I was to call my mom, Dukes, and be like, yeah, what's going on? How's your day going? And then she asks me that question, where are you? And I tell her a certain area that I'm in, like, oh, why the fuck are you there? I don't want you there, this and that. But it's like, I can't help the fact that I love smoking in the staircase
Yeah.
with a fat blunt with the mandem and
Facts.
chilling and talking shit, because that's what we used to do as kids coming up.
Facts.
And it's like that vibe, that feeling, like, you know, it's like then you go outside, who knows if there's like a one-on-one fight or niggas is fucking doing some stupid shit over bitches and shit. Like, it's the life, it's a thrill.
Yeah.
You get a thrill off of that shit, you know what I mean? So it's just like,
All right.
yeah, just that.
Nah, I hear that. Yo, so, you know, you did a freestyle for us, and freestyle's fire, by the way, but you do have a certain line where you say something about, like, being in the hood and being 35 and still being in the hood. So, yo, let's say, you know, you're still going to the hood, you're still living that life, you're still showing love to the niggas that you grew up with, but now you're an older man, you're touching 30, and you're still in the hood and nothing's really popping. Like, how do you deal with that? As a, you know?
That's crazy. I don't know if anybody else could relate, but I'll go around everywhere and people look at me like I'm young. Mm-hmm. People still think I'm like 18, 19, 20 and shit like that. So it's kind of funny to me.
Yeah.
But I still get around with certain shit and get to get away with certain things, right?
Yeah.
So it's like certain things in a way, it's like people don't expect me to still stay around and think I'm 29, 30 years old.
Yeah.
They look at me like, oh shit, yeah, he's still that, but like, he's actually looking good and he has his shit together and this and that. You see niggas in the hood that are 35 plus and shit, not doing a damn thing, just the same shit over and over again.
Right.
If not that, you start doing your thing so much to the point you're hearing side stories about these guys and it's like, yo, I don't even want to hear this shit. Like, why are people telling me this, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's like, it's crazy still. There's the older heads out here that'll claim that they're helping the man them, like the youths them. You're not. You know, fall back. Now we get to help you guys, and y'all niggas don't want the help. So it's like, either get with it or get lost now, you know? And that's what they were saying to us when they were our age, you know? So shit like that. It's always a cycle, but somebody have to break that shit.
No, I hear that. Yo, so let's switch gears into the music, you know what I mean? When I listen to your music, it's very vivid. Like, you know what I mean? You remind me a lot about, like, you kind of remind me of, like, Benny the Butcher, the vivid, the detail in the lyrics, but you have your own sound, like you have your own bounce, the way you flow over the beat, the way you do your thing, and it's really like relatable. Like you kind of paint a picture. So you know, I appreciate you for that because you know I fuck with your shit. So you know, I say that to say, when did music become a thing for you? When did you turn to music, and when did you feel like I can do this?
I guess we could say 2019. Yeah, around 2019, I was going to college, right? For the music thing, though, just not any college and shit. I wanted to actually step up in life and see what I could do different and shit besides streets and whatever else is left, you know? So once I turned to that and I seen the people that was around, I kind of put them in a position where I want to be now. It's kind of like crazy how I help out people and then they're going further than I am and shit, and I'm still in the same position I am, stuck, you know? So I took it serious from that. Like, damn, I could have been gone from time, you know? Could have been flown off from time, but fucked up.
Facts. So, you know, you did the college thing, you learned a lot about music, you kind of put people on to this music shit. What was the first track that you made where you're like, all right, I got something here? Or what's the first look that you got that you're like, all right, I'm valid, like I'm doing this?
Oh, that would be a track called Yeah Yeah. It was directed and filmed by M-Works.
Okay, shout out M-Works.
Yeah, shout out M-Works, know what I mean? That's the big homie. Yeah, when I got certain reactions after that video dropped and shit, I couldn't like believe it, because personally, I don't even like the track. I mean, like, I don't bump it, but like I see like niggas in the hood bumping it and shit. It was more a track for like the youth, them audience and shit, and like more like people who have a more high up tempo party vibe. Not party, but like, you know, cool chill back vibes, downtown and shit, you know?
Okay.
So it's like, damn, I'm hearing the hood niggas bump it too, and they're like, yo, fam, it's one of your hardest tracks. And I'm like, yeah, right. Like, stop talking shit. But they actually liked it, so that's when I was kind of like, let me work on my vocals and work on these type of beats and shit like that. So I'm really indecisive when it comes to certain music myself. So it's like I like came up in the one that we did for this interview, you know? That's my type of shit.
Facts.
Yeah.
So I hear that. So, you know, when it comes to music, you know, what you just said was pretty interesting because, you know, you made a song that you didn't really fuck with, but the people fucked with.
Right.
And you make certain songs that you fuck with, but the people might not fuck with. Like, you know, it's 50-50. So how do you kind of balance that when you're making a project or you're making a song? Do you go in the booth saying, you know what, today I'm making a track for me? Or do you go in the booth saying, all right, you know, I'm trying to get a hit for it to ring off?
Depends. Like, I probably have a whole fucking folders of hits and shit tracks, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, damn. I had my people them tell me, yo, why don't you do a video to this and do a video to that? And it's just like, well, why don't you fucking put in some of the money to pay the video guy? Shit like that.
Fact.
Yo, nigga, I'm not that up, dog. Like, I'm not rich and shit, bro. Like, you know what I mean? How people perceive it to be. Even though you see money in my videos and shit, I have to stack up how many months just to fucking have that shit in there and then also pay the video, man, pay for bottles and all that shit. Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah. Nah, I hear that still. I hear that. So, you know, there's been a pretty interesting topic going on in the Toronto music scene where people are kind of saying Toronto sounds like every city but Toronto. And this is something that was brought up by Friday from We Love Hip Hop. Shout out to those guys, by the way.
Shout out Friday. Shout out.
You recently did the freestyle for them too,
Yeah,
so that was pretty dope still.
Yeah.
But Friday brought that topic up. So what's your views regarding that? Like, do you feel like that's valid, what he's saying has some truth to it, or do you feel like that was some bullshit?
Some bullshit stuff. Like, that's my opinion, because like Toronto does have its own sound, but it's like 5 different flows. It's like probably even 10 different flows and shit. Like, you got so many different rappers out the city where they come up with their own styles and shit, right? Mm-hmm. But then you hear these American niggas doing the same thing. So it's like it started with that fucking LB Spiffy guy and Tekka.
Yeah.
So when that started going viral, everybody's doing the same things, tactics that they're doing and shit. Oh, yo, you're stealing this, or you sound like that. It's like, yo, I seen it come up with a lot of people, and I'm just like, whatever we set a trend for, people don't want to acknowledge that, you know? It's a shout out LB because he set a fucking trend, and he sounds like him, you know?
Facts.
People don't want to acknowledge that, yo. That's why he flew and that's how he bossed and did his thing, you know what I mean? People
Facts.
still don't want to acknowledge that. So nah, we don't all we do sound the same in a way, right? But nah, Toronto has its own sound. We just gotta get together and like Friday was saying, you know, it's like all these other cities and countries and shit, they get together. We don't. That's the reason we don't have our own sound.
So how do we get to that point where we're able to, you know, establish that togetherness and we're able to push that Toronto sound? Because, you know, recently there was the season finale of that Keep Six Solid Clubhouse situation, and, you know, we seen Hoodlum and YG and a bunch of people just going back and forth, you know what I mean? And that kind of like, it's good for the city to have like, you know, artists in one place and audience in one place to talk about music and push stuff. But like when the artist starts bashing each other and exposing each other and, you know, saying nasty shit about each other, it kind of makes the whole situation toxic. So, you know what I mean? With that, I say that to say like, what are some ways that you feel like we can kind of, you know, be more together and be more unity in order to push this Toronto sound forward?
Well, it has to start with like within, like, you know, like people's own crews and like selective collectives and shit like that. Cause like you have all these debates on Keep Six Solid and all these other pages and shit, like saying, oh, would you hear Pyrex and Northside Benji on a track and YG and Mool on a track or whatever the case is, right? But it's like, yo, do you guys not know why they're not on a track? So we're not gonna talk about that, but then it's like people are gonna fucking entice more fuckery that they don't even know what they're doing, and these artists in the city get enticed off of that. It's IG, live, Clubhouse, all of this shit. There's nothing else popular right now. Now the city's opening back up. Hopefully we start seeing a little bit more unity with shows and getting artists to come out and not do the fuckery in the streets and shit like that. But come on, my G, it's far-fetched, you know? Super far-fetched.
No, I hear that. I hear that. So, you know, our relationship kind of started where, like, you know, I seen you doing the interview with this LA kind of blog or
Yeah.
platform, and that was a pretty dope interview. So I reached out to you and we did something on IG Live, which was pretty dope. But you dropped this song called "Came Up,"
Yeah.
and that's when you turned me into a believer. I'm not gonna lie to you. Still, like that was a hard track. So I hit you right away, and you know we connected. But tell me a little bit about that track and how that came about.
Shoot. So Came Up like was supposed to be on like an auto-tune track. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I came up. Silence and violence and other things. Don't say nothing. Just say silent me till the side of the break up. And like some shit like that. And I wasn't feeling it at all. Like, oh, like, fuck this shit. Like, I need it to sound better. I need it to sound sick. So I'm just going through beats and shit. And I found this one beat, like, it was hard. There was like a Styles P and Vado and Chink's drug sample. So I was like, okay, this could vibe, and I just slowed down the lyrics and I just said, fuck it, let me just put the beat on this, like the lyrics on this beat and slap it out. And I literally recorded it. The next 2 days, shot the video, and cause it was my birthday the next couple of days and shit, so I'm like, fuck it, this is the video I'm doing for my birthday.
I seen the drip too. I seen the Dior and everything
Come on,
too.
so you know, like had to go off and shit, went to the strip club, did everything, like it was beautiful, you know? So that's how it just came about. Still, it was off another track, but I just wasn't feeling it, so I put it on that beat. Shout out Spuda. Big Dog in the cut too.
Facts.
On the production. So yeah, love on that beat still, can't even lie. So that's how it came about.
Facts. And you know, one thing I do like about you is that you're very professional when it comes to networking. You do a really great job. So talk about your relationship with Six Buzz and being able to post on his platform and him showing you love and you guys kind of working together.
Yeah, sure. To be honest, like, it's kind of like how every other artist came about with Six Buzz and shit. Like, yo, fuck Six Buzz, dog. He's not supporting me. This and that, this and that. It's like, I never put it out there to say, like, fuck this guy, this and that, because he's not putting up my shit. Because I just ended up paying him at first, you know? And that's what I've been doing, right? So it's like, I'm only just paying for my promo, paying for what's right and shit, right? So then that's when I started fucking with Macadelic and Cash Feelings and a lot of guys like that, and they already have their connections in the city with Six Buzz and other people too, right? So I just got love from that, and like it's work. Like they see that I'm putting in the work now, so they're telling me like, you know what, don't even worry. Like Not now you could fuck with us. Now you could do some things or whatever, but keep on showing us the work. If you don't holler at me, I can't holler at you. That's like having a friend in the industry or the streets. Like if you don't talk to me, I can't help you out.
Facts.
Vice versa.
Facts. All right. And in regards to like beats and producers and that Toronto sound, like you have one of your close working producers here.
Right,
So
right.
shed some light on him and talk about you guys' relationship.
So yeah, this is my homie. That's like basically my brother, Broski on the beat, Swift Beats, basically, Like for those who don't know, we've been friends for a minute still. So it's just like we've been doing the music from when I told you about my college shit.
Yeah.
Right? And I was supposed to do it from there with him, and we kind of fell off ourselves and had our own little miscommunications and shit about the music thing,
Yeah.
Where it's like I didn't understand certain things that he was telling me, and I'm not hearing it because I'm doing my own thing with the music and shit. Now that I grew up a little bit and got to come across and shit like that, it's like now I understand where he came from and shit. Now I see like, yo, it just doesn't take not listening to somebody and saying, yo, you have to listen to me. Like I stopped doing that and shit. So I seen his beats, I seen that he's working hard and shit, so it's like, yo, okay, you know what? Instead of me fucking with these people that are snaking me and doing me dirty and shit, I should have been fucking my brethren.
Facts.
And putting him on my music level too when I'm putting all these weirdos on and shit,
Facts. So, talk to me about your creative process, not only now, but like from where it started to where it is now.
Deadly still, I won't even lie. Like, I'm proud of where I got to with my creative process, because it's like I'm kind of scared of what I could do with my pen, and it's just like, shoot, like I could only get better and better, right? But it's like right now it's not about that, it's more about me putting the content out. Like I've had exes and other girls and niggas that do photo shoots and models and everybody like that around me telling me, yo, put us on content, babe. Yo, let's do a vlog, let's do this, and it's like, let me think about it, and I just flop, But I'm gonna get into it, Start doing commercials, Start fucking going in people's clothing in Toronto and shit, start taking videos and do commercials and pictures of that and shit. So I'm gonna get into it more, not just the rapping shit, you know what I mean? I have a TV show coming out too, but that's another time I'll discuss that one still,
Facts. We're all looking forward to that.
Yeah.
You kind of brought my mind to something in regards to like commercials and dropping content and stuff like that. What do you think about TikTok? TikTok has become something very big in music. Like niggas is blowing off of that. Like international type shit. So, but like niggas don't want to look funny in front of the camera too. Like you don't want to be looking crazy, doing funny dances,
exactly.
you know what I mean? So how do you balance that, How do you tap into that TikTok audience at the same time still looking like a real nigga, still?
That's the thing, it's like, I know men that have apps on their phone, and me as a man, when I use any app on my phone, I'm probably on Instagram, Snapchat, and my calculator and the calendar and shit like that. I don't go on TikTok or any of these other shits. Like, I don't even have time, because I have my girl too, right? So if I was single and shit, going on Tinder and all these sites and shit, like, I don't have the time. Like, I'm making money, or I have to go to the studio and record a song and shit. So it's like I hear a certain man say, yo, if you're an older guy and you're on TikTok, like, that's some weird shit. Like, what he dealing with, But it just depends on the artist and what they're promoting and all that them thing there, because it's like, you just never know when it's the right thing to do that or not. Me personally, hell no, I'm not going on TikTok. I mean, I have no reason to go on there, even though it might get me more views and shit like that. My music gonna speak for itself, I personally feel like I don't need it still.
Facts. You did mention you have a girl and stuff like that.
Yeah.
As an artist, how is it balancing, making music, running around in strip clubs, you're meeting people, you're meeting things, and at the same time you have your girl at home, she probably wants more time, probably wants to go on vacations, probably wants to go shopping. So how do you kind of balance that?
She's with me on the road too. Yeah, she forwards too still. Like, true, she was supposed to come through over here, but she got some shit to do right now.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, I pulled up with the man done. After this, done, I'll go get another bottle or say, okay, eat some food and chill out and do my thing. Cause like, what's still Thursday? Yeah, Friday, tomorrow, shit, still got some work to get done and things like that. Probably her right now, so. You know what I mean? So yeah, like, it's easy still. Like, it just depends on the man, right? If you're your own man and shit, and you're gonna go out there and cheat and do the fornication thing with other bitches and shit like that, then At least keep it real with your shawty and tell her, yo, I'm fucking other bitches, like, straight.
Facts, facts,
Yeah,
facts.
and if not, just stay single.
Facts.
Yeah.
You said some real shit right there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with the things and rappers in the city or like producers or videographers, it's kind of different still. Like when you meet a thing and you tell her like, yo, you're a rapper or you make music or you do videos, they kind of don't take you seriously still. Like
For
they look at
sure.
you funny still.
For
So
sure, but they're doing the same shit too. You know what I mean? Everybody in Toronto's either an entertainer or a friggin' IG model.
that's a fact. That's a fact.
Everybody's into this shit that like you got friggin' football players and soccer players and track stars and bitches who are into their books and shit, going to college and everything, going to friggin' strip club now and going to after hours and trying to find out where's the nearest studio that a sick man is at so they could just party and pop a pill and pop a bottle at, dog, and take pictures in the background.
Nah, that's a fact.
Yeah, dog, so it's like, yeah, it's ridiculous.
They're all on the same shit too.
Yeah, everybody, not just girls, man too. Like
That's a fact.
yeah,
There's a lot of groupies out here.
Mod.
That's a fact. That's a fact. But you know, we're gonna wrap things up. But before we do that, let's talk about like what you have in the pipeline. Are you working on a project? Are you working on music? You dropping new shit? Like, talk about that.
Yeah, so like I said, I wasn't gonna talk about it, the TV show and shit, but like just an introduction of what I do got coming out is it's called Public Affairs. All right, so it's gonna be my album, but I'm also gonna do a TV show towards it. So the TV show introduces the album and whatnot. So I'm not just gonna have an album coming out, it's gonna come out with some visuals and shit. And I got some very big people gonna be in that too. It's just everything's just getting worked on right now. So, you know, it's soon come along and shit like that, but probably not till next year, if anything, still.
Okay. So that's what you're currently working on right now.
Right now, yeah.
Facts.
And if anything, y'all just gonna hear a bunch of singles and shit still, cause right now, I could be doing anything. I probably bring mixtapes back, you know? That's what I'm trying to do, start bringing some heat back in the city.
Facts. So, you know, shout out your socials, shout out your people, promote
So
anything.
you don't know it's Valintino RX, that's my Instagram. I mean, that's the only social I got. I'm not really on Twitter, any other social media outlets and shit. But you know what? This is my big producer right here. Also my broski, Humble Soul. You know what I mean? That's, how do you spell that out? HBL 3SO1. You know what I mean? Go follow that. Stay connected. Up Life. You know, I got City Crooks. I got my broski Lavish in the building too. So shout out to them and shout out almost all the rappers in the city that's doing your thing, keeping it motivated and shit. Like, get out the streets, dog. I'm not saying don't get out the streets, but get out the streets and do something better. Other than that, shout out everybody that has their outlets, 6 Boys, Keep 6 Solid, Keep 6 Views, all of y'all, you know what I mean? And last but not least, 1210 Daily, my nigga. That's broski. Love you, fam. Y'all keep it locked, tap in. Valintino RX, baby.